guys, it's Alexis, aka The Soft Reader, and I am here today with my 2016 a year in review video where I basically talk about the reading I did in the last 12 months and the challenges I had set myself for the beginning of the year, whether I failed, whether I accomplished my goal, and yes, for the sake of not having to pull 70-something books off of my shelves, I am just going to show you guys the Goodreads page where they conveniently do it all for me. So I'm gonna flick it over there, and yeah, you'll just see me awkwardly scroll through my Goodreads page, but yeah, we'll check it out. Wow, guys, 2016 was maybe the best reading year I have ever had in my entire life. I read so many fantastic books this year. You kind of got to see that on the Goodreads page. My average rating was 4.1 stars. I gave a pretty decent amount of 5 stars to. I read so many wonderful books. I actually have a book coming out in 2 or 3 days, which is my top 16 books of 2016. And like, it was pretty hard actually to narrow that list down because there were so many wonderful books I read. I read some really big books. As you saw, the biggest book I read was Winter. It was 832 pages. I read a couple of short stories, which were only a couple of pages long. I really expanded on my reading. I read a bunch of stuff I never thought I would read. I read like 3 or 4 nonfiction books this year. I read 2 anthologies, which is interesting because I usually don't like short stories because I can't get attached to them, but I read and enjoyed 2 anthologies this year, so I'm super proud of myself. My Goodreads goal was to read 65 books in the year 2016, and at the time of filming this, I still have 2 books I plan to read and complete before the year's up. I'm pre-filming this, so I still have about a week of December left. My goal was to read 65 books, and as of right now, I have read 73 books. I have attempted to read 73 books. I did DNF 4 of them, I think, so that puts me at, completing 69 books. I plan on completing 2 more, so 71. I read 71 books. I read and completed 71 books in 2016. That's amazing considering that my goal was 65 and I went beyond that, especially because it didn't look like I would for a while there. I'm really bad about reading in the summer because I kind of just want to lay around and veg all the time. But I was like a bunch of books behind schedule then, and then September and October happened, and I was just reading and reading and reading and reading, and I completed so many books in those 2 months, and I'm so proud of myself. And I just had a fantastic reading year. I surpassed my Goodreads goal. My next challenge that I had set myself for myself in the beginning of 2016 was to read the Arabian Nights collection. I had this beautiful leather-bound Barnes & Noble's Classic Edition, but I decided instead to not read that edition and to instead listen to it on audiobook, which I do think is the best way to go because a lot of these stories are traditionally told orally. You get the picture of it so much better orally than if you were sitting down and reading it. But I started Arabian Nights in February, and I believe I finished it in October, but I finished it. The audiobook was like, not actually that long, it was like 12 hours or something like that. But I finished it, and I, for the most part, enjoyed it, but I checked that goal off my list. I completed it. And so I'm going to try to make it a habit of reading a fairly thick classic every year just to make sure that I'm reading classics. The next challenge that I'm going to mention is one that I did not complete, and that was to read the Harry Potter books this year. The main reason I wanted to start this But the main reason that I wanted to start and finally read the Harry Potter books this year was because I went to the Wizarding World of Harry Potter in Orlando in May with my grandmother, and I wanted to at least be pretty caught up on the book series by the time that happened. Unfortunately, I did not read all 7 Harry Potter books this year. I only read the first 4, which means I pretty much made it halfway through the series, and I'm still really proud of accomplishing that, especially because, like I said, in summer, I really dragged my feet with reading. I was in like a 2-month-long reading slump where I just didn't want to read anything. So I am really proud of myself for finishing those books, the first 4 that I did, and I will definitely be finishing the rest of the series in 2017 because I am hooked. They're great books and they're fun, and I will need to know what happens next. The next challenge I had set for myself was one related to BookTube, and it was basically just that I wanted to be more consistent on BookTube. It's a hobby that I had kind of started to dabble in a little bit in the past 2 years, but I really wanted to make it a hobby that I did consistently. I wanted to, make a schedule for uploading videos, and I wanted to, be putting content out there at least once a week. And again, in the summer, there were some times where I really wasn't filming videos at all, but for the most part, I am really happy with myself. Just in the last 6 months alone, I've done 50-something videos, which I'm really proud of myself for, considering that I was in my last semester of school. I was working 20 hours a week outside of school, and I had a lot of other stuff going on this past 6 months with just how I was feeling and some issues with my family, and I got a new kitten and all of that. So I'm still really, really proud of myself for consistently doing it, and I have a lot of really awesome things planned for 2017, so I'm only excited to see where I can go from here. Finally, the last challenge I had set for myself in 2016 was to participate in the Around the Year in 52 Books challenge, which of course I did complete. I read 52 books pretty much from the start of January all the way to the end of December. I'm currently reading my last book for the challenge, and I definitely plan to finish it before the year's over, so I'm not worried about it. But again, it definitely looked like I would not be completing the challenge about halfway through there. When it was in, the June and July months, it looked like I was going to have to throw in the towel and just say, nope. But I did it, I finished it, and I read some really great books for it. I filmed an entire video just about that, which I will link down below or in the info card thingy if I can figure out how to make that work. But I really enjoyed most of the books I read for it. I read and completed 52 books for the challenge. Some of them were long, some of them were short. Some of them might have bent the rules a little bit, but that's okay. I still completed it, and no one is going to be able to take that away from me. And yeah, again, I talk a lot more about it and all the books I specifically read for that challenge in that video, so if you're interested, you should go ahead and check it out. Alright guys, so that was 2016, a year in review in terms of my reading for the last year. Like I said, I accomplished a lot of goals this year with the exception of reading the Harry Potter books, but I also made a nice little, place for myself here on BookTube, which was really exciting for me, and I'm super excited to, see where I go in 2017. But now that I am out of school, I will tell you guys I'm hoping to upload 3 videos a week now on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, just because I found that I have so many ideas of things I want to do, and then there's monthly recommendations videos and Top 5 Wednesdays and all of this other stuff, plus there's book hauls and wrap-ups and other videos I want to do, and I just can't fit it all into 2 videos a week, so I'm going to try to do 3, which is a goal I've kind of set for myself for 2017, but you guys should just let me know how your year went as far as 2016 went. Did you meet your Goodreads goal? What was your Goodreads goal? What was your favorite book you read? What was your least favorite book you read? And yeah, I will see you guys pretty soon. I've got one more video planned for 2016, which will come out on the 31st of December, which I kind of mentioned earlier is my top 16 books of 2016, but yeah, I'm really excited with the way this year went, and I hope 2017 will be just as good for me as 2016 was. But I will see you guys soon with another video. Bye!